Turkesterone, the emperor with no clothes. Turkesterone exploded into the fitness world like a detonated hype grenade. Influencers called it the natural anabolic, claiming it could build muscle without any hormonal impact, suppression, or side effects. It sounded perfect, almost too perfect. And that's exactly what it was. When researchers actually looked for evidence, they found almost nothing. There are no strong human trials showing meaningful increases in lean mass or strength, and most products contain barely any of the compound. Many bottles are powdered plant material with a fancy label slapped on top. Turkesterone is derived from a plant called Ajuga turkestanica, used in traditional medicine for centuries in Central Asia. While fascinating historically, the modern fitness claims outstrip the evidence. It isn't harmful, but it simply doesn't deliver. And in the hierarchy of muscle-building supplements, it sits firmly at the bottom. Ecdysterone, the anabolic enigma. Ecdysterone is slightly more interesting than turkesterone because it has a little scientific history behind it. First isolated in the 1950s from plants like spinach and quinoa, ecdysterone is part of a class called ecdysteroids, compounds that insects use to grow and molt. Early animal studies suggested it might increase protein synthesis without the side effects of steroids, which sparked decades of research curiosity. Human trials are limited, but intriguing. Some studies show small gains in lean mass over several weeks, but others find no effect at all. Most of the variability comes from the inconsistent quality of supplements. Many contain too little ecdysterone or are contaminated with other plant compounds. It's a supplement that sits on the fence, too promising to dismiss entirely, but too inconsistent to trust. Caffeine, the performance ignition switch. Caffeine has a much older story. Discovered in 1819, it has been used worldwide for centuries to increase alertness and delay fatigue, from ancient tea ceremonies in China to coffee houses in 17th century Europe. Today, it's one of the most studied ergogenic aids in sports. Biochemically, caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in the brain, reducing perceived fatigue while increasing dopamine and epinephrine release. This makes lifters sharper, more focused, and capable of exerting more force. While it doesn't directly trigger muscle protein synthesis, this boost in training intensity can result in more volume over time, which is the most reliable driver of hypertrophy. Caffeine isn't anabolic on its own, but by allowing lifters to train harder and longer, it becomes a silent contributor to muscle growth. Beta-alanine, the volume amplifier. Beta-alanine's story begins in the lab. Isolated in the 1950s, its connection to carnosine and muscle fatigue wasn't fully understood until the 1990s. Once researchers mapped how beta-alanine combines with histidine to form carnosine, they realized it acts as a buffer against hydrogen ions, essentially delaying the acid buildup that makes muscles burn during high-rep sets. By increasing muscle carnosine levels, beta-alanine allows athletes to push deeper into their sets, accumulate more volume, and stimulate greater hypertrophy over time. Its effects are especially pronounced in the 10 to 25 rep range, where sustained tension matters most. While not directly anabolic, beta-alanine is an indirect performance enhancer. It lets your muscles do more work, which ultimately leads to more growth. HMB, the anti-catabolic shield. HMB was first studied in the 1990s as a metabolite of leucine, one of the key essential amino acids. Early studies highlighted its ability to reduce muscle protein breakdown in catabolic states, such as after surgery, during illness, or in calorie deficits. This anti-catabolic effect is precisely why it caught the attention of both researchers and athletes. HMB is most effective for beginners or those under extreme stress. It doesn't build muscle by itself, but it preserves what you already have, preventing the body from breaking down muscle during fatigue, high-volume training, or dietary restriction. For experienced lifters, the gains are smaller, but still measurable. It's a supplement built for protection, the shield that keeps your hard-earned muscle intact. Leucine, the anabolic switch. Leucine, first isolated in 1819, is one of the most critical essential amino acids for muscle growth. Its unique power lies in activating the mTOR pathway, the body's master switch for muscle protein synthesis. Without this signal, even adequate protein intake can't fully trigger muscle building. But leucine doesn't work alone. EAAs provide the full set of building blocks needed to translate that signal into actual protein. Think of leucine as the foreman giving the orders, and EAAS as the construction crew turning those orders into real growth. Together, they create one of the fastest and most direct anabolic responses possible from a natural source. Supplementing leucine or EAAS around workouts or during fasted states is especially effective. When amino acid levels are low, this targeted boost jumpstarts muscle protein synthesis, ensuring growth continues even between meals. Research also shows that leucine helps preserve muscle during calorie deficits or intense training by maintaining mTOR activation and reducing breakdown. Whey protein, the muscle protein synthesis workhorse. Whey protein started as a byproduct of cheese making thousands of years ago, overlooked yet packed with high-quality protein and amino acids. It wasn't until the 1970s, with the rise of modern bodybuilding, that whey became a go-to supplement, prized for its fast digestion and ability to support recovery and muscle growth after intense training. What sets whey apart is its high leucine content, which activates mTOR, the master switch for building muscle. A single serving post-workout floods your bloodstream with amino acids, triggering one of the strongest natural anabolic responses possible. Beyond workouts, whey solves the biggest barrier to growth: getting enough daily protein. Decades of research show whey consistently increases lean mass, strength, and recovery, making it a cornerstone for anyone serious about building muscle naturally. Fast, effective, and backed by science, whey isn't just a supplement. It's a muscle-building essential. Creatine monohydrate, the king of natural muscle builders. Creatine's history goes back to 1832, when French chemist Michel-Eugène Chevreul first isolated it from meat. Its performance-enhancing properties weren't discovered until the early 20th century, and its widespread use in sports began in the 1990s, when studies confirmed its ability to increase muscle strength, power, and mass. Creatine works by increasing intramuscular phosphocreatine stores, allowing muscles to regenerate ATP faster during high-intensity efforts. This translates into more reps, heavier loads, and higher training volume. It also draws water into muscle cells, which enhances intracellular hydration, one of the most anabolic signals known to science. On top of that, creatine has been shown to increase IGF-1, enhance recovery, and improve muscular endurance. It is consistently the most effective, most reliable, and most universally applicable natural supplement for increasing muscle size and strength. Beginners, elite athletes, men, women, it works across the board, making it the undisputed king of natural hypertrophy.